I shouldn't have started stream like this. The way I'm feeling. But I am so irritated. We were so close to ending stream. Like I was having fun. I was reading the storybooks, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the storybooks, I crash. My Wi-Fi entirely crashes. I was like, why couldn't you crash when I finished the storybooks? Why now? In the middle of it. So that's why stream is extremely short, because we finished the main story from the last part 2, and we were just reading storybooks and we crashed. So yippee! Isn't that great? Sorry if you hear a bit of my irritation from that. Yes, very irritated. But we are going to read the rest of the storybook, because that's what I wanted. Speed connection, pretty bad. Wow. Don't you just love it when your stream crashes right when you're about to finish it, right when you're almost done reading the storybook? Oh man, I just love it, don't I? Oh, hello, Jazz. Hi. Yes, I'm still live because my stream crashed in the middle of it. It crashed. My Wi-Fi crashed. It's a very short stream, probably 10-minute or 50-minute stream, probably 10 minutes. It literally crashed when I was reading the storybooks at the end of when you finish the main mission, when you read the storybooks. I am so irritated by my Wi-Fi right now, but yeah. We're just finishing the story reading. We read Hyosin's story from last one, and we were in the middle of reading Castoris. We didn't read Anoxa's yet. Sad? Yes, sad! Oh, I did not finish it. The game counted as me finishing it. Are you serious? Oh, thank goodness we can go back. Oh. Okay, I remember we read all this except... Okay, this is where it basically crashed. I saw my stream stop at where Stixia was. Oh. Sorry about my irritation a bit. Sorry about that, but... Yep. This is how Death escapes time. She keeps every final embrace hidden in her immortal heart. Out of her numerous works, butterflies and flowers often stand out stark. Ignite them and you can almost hear the maker's remark. Even in Death's silence, her sound can still be heard. It's a gift greatly treasured by the maiden. Few have the honor to be graced with such words. Only one has the heart to burn such a gift, and the reason she gives is rather far-fetched.
I must peer into all fates unknown.
That was a Glaya. That wasn't Castoris, that was a Glaya. Wait, we read the other one. I didn't forget to press X, did I? Oh, I didn't. Okay, good. The power of time is boundless, but there is one thing it cannot conquer.
Death is abominable in humans' eyes. Apart from my identity, there's nothing about me worthy of praise.
The beloved gold weaver hears this in distress, then tries to teach her art of weaving and threads. It has been said that the maiden has works that the holy city possesses, but this is the judgment the gold weaver expresses.
Ah, well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
Okay, act concluded. There! Now we finished the story from the last stream. Now all that's left is an action. I just cannot believe it crashed just like that. I hope it doesn't crash again. That would suck. But like, yeah. Because I really enjoy reading the storybooks. And for it to crash during like that, just... completely ruined it. Like, literally. Those flame-chasing people, those forgotten stories as I've written. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Discard, not the broken. This is a tale buried in history. One day, a student elated in victory dashed around the grove's territory.
I saw the spell the professor carved on his body.
The youth with white hair has beside himself in joy.
It must be a power most secret. A means for one man to stand against 1,000.
Whoa. That spell was rare indeed, for it was a secret way to overturn a cart of hay. Wait, what? Wait, for real? Or is that like a metaphor or something? The scholar was still a mortal body, as yet to snatch life from death, or to reforge a new flesh through a god's remedy. Various minutes, tricks, and parody, he studied them all, crafting schemes on so busy. For everyone knows, he wishes to not to use the divine power that is his, refusing rightful custody. Hold on, I hear myself talking from my phone, it's distracting me. And in the unwitnessed moment of his death, final tragedy, he still held the hay cart, spell steady, standing alone, facing the evil enemy. Now that craft is regarded as a magnificent study, not because of what it was, but because of its purpose known to everybody. In fact, he once crafted miracles, forging silent servants using soil as vehicle. Though no sentience, they do their job without obstacles, revealing Titankin in spectacle. However, one day he suddenly changes his tune.
Creation is the Titan's work, and slavery is the Titan's manacle. When imitating divine evil, there's no need to invest reason, most pinnacle.
When the servants have all been recycled, he designs not to explain, fearing to waste his reason or muscle, so he jokingly concludes the question with a chuckle.
If it's just for odd jobs, students are a better gamble.
The way he dresses himself comes from elsewhere, an imitation of divine machine with some flair. He happily answers 5 questions for those unaware, knowledge seemingly given with stingy care.
For a wise one, 5 answers reveal creation's secrets, the truth hidden and bold. But a fool learns but not, and is left in the cold. Now, inquire.
Oh, wow. That is in fact the scholar's crafty snare. He hides the answer he seeks behind questions posed by those unaware, doling breadcrumbs as bail to lure and compare whether the inquirer may be worthy of his wisdom to share. That sounds like rhyming. Also, earlier, it felt like that was Finon's voice. Not the last page, but the last page. The scholar never looks at laws and measurements, ignoring the flow and shift of time's passage, and uncomprehending students gossip in eager regiments.
He is panicked by the flow of time, for his work is yet done, yet to implement.
This man is too arrogant, and he intends to desecrate Orenix's accomplishments.
Why the students' answers seem rather adamant. They completely skipped the red words! It just read the grayish orange words at the bottom. What? Why? Obviously to drag out class time at a statement. The student's answer seems rather adamant. He is panicked by the flow of time, for his work is yet done. Yet to implement, the stubborn assessment interjects in a rare display of testament. This man is too arrogant, and he intends to desecrate Oronox's accomplishments. The passing sage from Elder School brings advisement? Wait. Oh! I didn't know it would do that. I thought it would, like, redo the voices. Outside the courtyard, the gossip flows into the scholar's ear. He silently gives a grade to every question and argument, but none know the true answer according to his judgment. Wow. And now Mem's gonna start speaking. The flame chase path been lit. Okay, we've already read this one. It's Hyacinth we never read. We haven't loaded a new find on one yet. I'm pretty sure we've read Naxos. I'll just read it again anyway. What nameless being bestowed divinity on those higher existences? The scholar walks through Grove of Epiphany and refuses all the wise ones he meets with this question alone. For akin to the magic tricks he is so skilled at, his sophistry opponents fall into his trap as soon as they open their mouths. By admitting that the divinity is indeed bestowed by other beings, see throughout this blasphemer lives he had never solved via questions, instead only ever offered proof. You know, from the last stream, I said like, oh yeah, let's save Anaxa as best for last. And then my stream like crashes. So then right now I'm thinking, dang, I wish I read Anaxa's first. Then it would have been like part of the actual main stream. Not this super short stream. Okay. Healer. Oh wait, we didn't. No. Demise Scholar, Anaxagoras. I still can't pronounce that. Okay. Healer of Light, Hyacinthia. In the world, countless magnificent phenomena once set the boundless sky buzzing and boiling. And when the twilight faded, the moment when the overcast mends and dawn and dusk merge into one, she bestows upon the wanderers the last hazy light, and with a swirling smile, she illuminates their sorrowful fate with rainbow radiance. Oh. There's still so much that can be added. This means probably playable characters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah! Cypher will probably be added eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. Why was Hyacinth added? She was barely... Or was she in the main story? I don't remember she was in this main update, this update. But she wasn't that much in the update. It was more... I could be wrong. I don't remember much from last week. I remember most, but not. Well, whatever. 4 or 5. We have 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone's stories are so deep, I can't keep up. Does Pokey understand them? What is God exactly? Omnipotent, omniscient, always peeking at others. Someone like me. I'm the God. That sounds so odd, and with such a familiar tone. Pokey's past really is something special. I love how Mem's little art thing right here is. It's like very pretty and cute. But still, I don't quite get it. So let me ask in another way. There must be a difference between gods and us, right? Otherwise, why would anyone ever want to become a god? To avoid being controlled, to escape the pain, you've stumped me there. To avoid being controlled, it could be that we're already, if it's because I was controlled that I met Pokey, then I suppose I wouldn't mind being controlled. As I keep asking, I only get more and more confused. Maybe I'll wait until I've grown a little more before discussing these things with Pokey. Wait, that's it? That's all you're gonna say? Aww. Sad. Well, now we finished it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, but I cannot believe it just did that on me. Like, dude, it could have did that later, but no, it just did it right then and there. That was so messed up. My dogs are barking. Hold on. I decided to bark now. But yeah, it really sucks. Hopefully it won't do that next time. It will probably. But yeah, hopefully not next time. Why does it say new? I've read them all. Huh? Huh? There's more? Okay, I'm reading in Access and Mighty. My stream might crash again. Who knows? This looks like an Access. We'll read his more. I guess there was more. Those flame-chasing people. Those forgotten stories I've written. Please, stream, don't crash on me. Expose the divine.
Do not make him your enemy, even though he may seem frail and weak.
When a valiant warrior from afar assaulted the grove, he shattered their strength with only his eyes and pointing stick. He sent them running, pride cut to the quick.
He may seem cold and unkind, but he sees through human emotions with just a peek.
A student was troubled by love's trials and aches with one sentence. He guided them away from heartbreak, letting destiny's stranded weave a path to love and happiness shape.
All is science, and human wisdom knows no bounds. Both martial prowess and emotions are knowledge that can be found.
He firmly believes that all things can be deciphered, bared to those who peek. Those that cannot be solved are not mysteries infinite, but only questions waiting to be answered, not obstacles bleak. For those who only protect themselves, the world cannot see their intentions. In sorrowful parting hours, the scholar refuses trifle matters. Isolated in a corner of his library, he fiddles with. Oh, I guess they're not going to read it. Instruments of crafters. Colleagues suspect him of creating new blasphemies, while students believe him to be making new miracles of mastery. The curious ones gaze through the windows beholds, seeing a small wooden bird on the table, wobbling in comfort, swaying in the scholar's hand, an endearing cohort. A bird? I'd like to see a bird in his hand. I ask him, seeking his motive to this effort, but the scholar, usually so quick to retort, refuses to answer, seemingly coming up short. They don't really read the red ones. Creatures that through his hands pass, all change their functions, invoking wonder peerless. He once removed his hat, as others witnessed, then walked on the hat over water. With success, they also saw him light a flare, fearless instead, creating chilling cold air, not so harmless. Troy sends bananas. Hello, Troy. Hi. You know what? I want to slip on those bananas. The banana peel. Because my stream crashed at the very end when I'm about to finish. I had to reset my router, restart stream, and call it short stream. It was ridiculous. That bird was once a toy and now his messenger, or perhaps still a toy. That is the magic trick of his success, and one of his teachings that will
Nothing in this world is ever born fixed.
Tori says, womp womp. You're right, big womp womps. Like, bro, that was so messed up on my Wi-Fi. They could have, like, crashed right after I finished reading the storybooks, which is the last of what we needed to do. But no. The far-seeing must be far in thought. His teachings are like prophetic delight, yet he opposes prophecies with all his might. Oh. It's a time he refrains from looking back on, traveling all lands, chasing prophecies, trying to prove the priest's words were not unchangeable for sight. Oh, I like the picture. Countless times he exhausted his crafty slates, wanting to rescue the doomed and resurrect whites, wanting to shame the prophesied heroes of magic and might, wanting to sway promised villains to a course more upright. Perhaps fate could not guess his goals, but it could trample over his plans overnight. At the end, all his challenging flicker out, but he persists still in endless plight. I have like a cough in my throat, like, I don't know, makes me want to cough, but I can't. His ambitions are too lofty, and so failure follows him never too softly. Through moments of defeat left increasingly common, the scholar learned one thing he has never forgotten. Respond to defeat with a smile, haughty? Not from optimism, nor from a defeat to a
this misfortune's severity.
The laughter oozes with self-mockery, but is also full of a different emotion. Roy says, what is that? A pot of honey? It's a pot of honey, right? Yeah, it is. Are you trying to attract Winnie the Pooh? Trying to lure him in?
If this road is easy to walk, then future generations will not praise my name in piety.
Says his ambition. Dang. That was cool. We got 4 more storybooks and then we're all done. Let's read... Who's this one? Oh, it's Aglaya. I'm reading Mighty. Troy says, honey, and monkeys? You're trying to lure in monkeys? Okay. Those flame-chasing people, those forgotten stories, as I've written. The new one... Ascension of the Lone God Slayer.
To die for glory is not eternal sleep.
This is a lie all Castrum Kremnos keeps.
The world after death is superior to reality and basks in light.
But such vague poems the Crown Prince would not easily believe.
Cowards who dare not to look death in the eye.
He declared thus on the day he returned from the stream of souls.
Longing for a martyr's heaven and reciting self-deceiving stories.
His words are sacrilege reincarnate, more arrogant than his blood and family.
True warriors should treat that paradise with spite.
Oh my gosh, I love it when they do that. I read along with the voices, but I have to read it in time. Many followers thus stop, no longer following his steps, for the feel this young man's words, compared to the poems, are even more absurd. Oh, that's it for this page. And the big picture. Oh, they're not reading the red one. A body immortal equals not perfection. The man braved dangers endless, simply to seek his weakness. In his greener days, with more amateur skills, he cries in crisis where death denied him, even after kills, he learned why curse is a synonym for blessing, for he saw the visage of terror at life's closing. Wow. The stories are like just so interesting. I love it. The man seems unmoved when this part is mentioned. Having braved death 9 times, he who was once lacking now excels above everyone else still rising. Yet, when asked if he's still as ticklish as when he was a child, he does not answer. He might be! If he's not answering, he might be! That basically just gave us our answer. It's a wild take he won't care to opine. It said the castrum Kremnos has secrets divine, through which the king's power has passed, a one-man army by strength in their bloodline.
Therefore, a traitor who does not inherit the throne is a king most infirm.
As the protagonist hears these words, he refutes not, but openly responds.
These are not rumors unfound. But will they matter if my deeds eclipse those of all other kings, achieving glory beyond?
Never turning back in war, he seizes all our glory.
That rumor in the war camp of fury often casts a shadow on the man's heart, indestructible and fury. When campaigns become mirrored in terror, he sends his army to places safe and secure. Yet alone he goes to fight, knowing death can touch him near. The Kremnoan detachment who follow him in livery all die in bed, devoid of glory. They have their share of grudges upon death, but the man has no regret, none necessary.
Your glory lies not in death, but in my hands.
Ooh, that is a crazy thing to say. I read this perfectly fine, right? Yeah, okay. I was making sure I didn't skip anything. Hands. Death, okay. The dust settles and strife calms. A deathly quiet covers his father's realm, and the man alone returns home. A question seems to sound from shadows of the past around.
Did you already walk that flame-chasing road, O king?
The way he sits in his throne. Atop the throne, the man mutters alone.
There's nothing else worthy of the hunt, for I am the blazing fire at the journey's end.
What? He sounds so cool. As it has been foretold, he killed the king to become a king, and killed the god to become a god. His eternal destiny is to be crowned in blood. Dang, he is just so cool. Okay, who should we listen next? Goliath? Let's listen to Goliath. Elegy of beauty and ugliness. Both? Dang. In the past, when strife swallowed the earth and schemes disrupted the hearts of friends, the maiden who was yet a weaver was wrapped in a cocoon most grand, untouched by the storms sweeping through the land. She spent her youth in a palace of romance, surrounded by treasures, with even maids beautiful beyond belief, often bathing in the praise and admiration of wealthy nobles. Nobles. Till warfare set the thread of aflame, and the devoutly praying priest has slaughtered before the altar, the family adored by all perished before the courtyards, and the blood of her maidservants dyed her golden mantle red. Whoa. The golden threads covering her eyes snapped, and the concealed truth finally appeared firsthand.
Before a strong wind, a weak nobility cannot stand.
In the long endless war, the Gold Weaver family was shattered by the sword, and the legacy of romance became a tragedy. She's had a broken mansion and an empty house. The nobles who once loved her, none now willing to help her. All the romance, talented, peerage, and beauty. With use are they in a disaster. What? That's terrible. So they won't help her anymore. As she closed her eyes in melancholy, the maidservant pushed a broken loom.
Would you like to pick up the shuttle again and weave for me?
To her earnestly. The young miss wanted to laugh, but could only respond with shock, for the maid's face was now covered in scars, as she fought to protect her mistress safely. Aww.
Though I can no longer see, I still want to don the garments you weave.
At least she helped her. That's nice. And yet, when she heard this, the desire to weave overcame her fears. Therefore, in the broken shadows of the house, the loom of romance moved once more. The garments were exchanged for copious gold, buying back her renown of old. Yet beside the mistress most noble, there was always a blind maid in tow, dressed in luxurious and unfitting. As the weaver attended banquets, the praises of her youth returned.
Must be Nestia in the flesh.
But harsh words also
beauty
joined.
Is quite reduced by a maidservant, so unsightly.
What? Why would they talk to her about like that? The maidservant, yet her mistress brought her to the middle of the ball, having her garbed in the latest dress as the model. She now knew that praises and ridicule were both untrue, and that romance cared not for beauty of the face. The golden thread of gods exists only within. Thank goodness the Goliath is so sweet to her. Ah, my dogs. She is no longer the helpless girl. She already carries the god's authority and walks the hero's route. But she still cannot hold back the calamity of the strife. The unsightly maidservant blocked the dagger aimed at the mistress' soul, and blood once again dyed red something she wove. That was the last time in her life the maid's face she clearly beheld. What? Troy says doggos. Yes, doggos. Cute, adorable little doggos. But they are also a pain in the butt because they don't stop barking. When sewing the death shroud, she could not control how her fingers shook, often pricked by the needle sharp and acute. Thus, that pristine white cloth wept with tears of blood and gloom. And when the day of the funeral came, she saw the commoners' endless graves, and the nobles dressed in silk, frolicking in the groves, and sadness overwhelmed her in droves. No! So the maid did die. Ah, yep. Growl, growl. Troy says, hey, like some doggos at work today, lol. Dogs at dog daycares never stop barking. Once they hear one bark, the rest starts barking. Well, not all, though. Is this the destiny unleashed? For their act of chasing God's core flames. She kneels before the divine status and prays to Nestia of romance to look at these garments soaked in blood from the flames of war.
Why are those that appear so fair in fact ugly in truth? Why do faces unsightly contain souls cut from noble cloth? Why can the blind see the light? And why do those with eyes only see night?
I agree with that, Agaya. People are terrible. The dying god remains silent.
If you no longer have the power to see, then with my destiny,
She grasps the burning core flame.
I'll exchange for eyes that can see everything.
I'm like the narrator. I'm the narrator. Warm liquid flows from her eyes that now see all. In the instant she is sure that she saw the manifestation of beauty. Makes me think of the Night of Beauty, Argenti. Act concluded. Oh, there, Gaia. Oh, she only has one more. I just totally realized this. Each circle is a path lit, isn't it? What? I only now noticed. I feel like reading ciphers would be interesting because she has the core flame, the god of trickery. So, we'll read hers last. Troy says, yeah, of the golden lab that comes with the bloodhound just keeps barking. Oh no. It must be pretty loud barks. And with a heart unwithered. To the dead when she bids farewell, she casts the state into the fire and act futile. I have never heard of lands with such customs. As at this time something drizzles down the state slate, full of colors, seemingly tears the reapers of chills. It turns out the slate is inscribed with poems, and every phrase is diligently colored with skill. I kept messing up my words. Troy says, you know who I'm talking about. You're gonna have to say the dogs' names. I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I've been there. Wait, Gracie? Gracie? Oh, Gracie and Nora. Gracie and Nora. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot them.
Before people pass away, I write down these poems.
That is the limit of the girl's answer, and she only responds with silence for a request to read these poems. Troy says, yep. Oh, thank goodness I got it. Gracie and Nora are just the most adorable, though. I love them. I miss them. As times go, she finally opens her petal-veiled heart, and the reasons behind her reluctance to show her work is finally
My poems are still
clear.
too green. Not worthy to be art.
It stems from the girl's shame and discomfort. Troy says they are. Yeah, they are. It seems the girl once also loved to imagine with effort, and many wild tales were written on her part. A misunderstanding was what made her cease this art. It was a pair of arch-nemesis who gained fame in the war. One of them burst into
He and
laughter.
I clearly wish to kill and tear each other apart. But in your eyes, you think we are close. Unable to part.
Laughter after reading the girl's poetic words. I didn't read it in time. Wait, was that an Exa? I don't know. I wish to kill and tear. No, maybe not. She did not write poetry as a pastime. It is time that she left great works under hundreds of themes. In different times, she even criticized her previous beliefs, making her identity even harder to assume. I still found her weakness after many twists and turns. No matter how fickle her thoughts, she never lost faith in those words regarding the value of fragile mortal lives. She is heartbreaking and enchanting. She is the fingertips of death and the ghost of love in poetry. Dang! I like those words. However, those poems have brought her many complaints. The poems that her hands composed all lack an ending of any kind, and the Maid of Death has no desire to continue them. Phantom Bunny says sneaks in. Hello, Phantom.
This is truly difficult to write.
The girl excuses herself.
My duty is to lead the living to the end. I cannot think of a fitting end for a poem to the dead.
That poems are pretty hard to do. Troy sends an emoji monkey. So I got a bunny and a monkey in chat. Phantom says nums on rice and chicken. Oh, rice and chicken sounds good. I still haven't eaten dinner. Yeah, like, I'm so hungry. Such is the epitome of lies, whose gown used to death, remains inexperienced with farewells. The purple flowers. Troy says, then eat. After the stream, the storybooks are way more important than food. Honestly. Therefore, I extend her an invitation. In this story belonging to herself, she can leave an ending reserved only for her.
What she brings is not only death.
She thus replied when we first met. And when we once again, for the last time, she again deliberates over the closing statement.
Apart from death, there is something else that is worth remembering.
That is the journey she walked. Yep, we're almost done. I think we have one more storybook, unless more appear, which is I don't think that will. Phantom says Phantom Bunny hopping in the zone. Oh, a Phantom like Ghost Bunny would sound adorable. Troy says I had ice cream. Ice cream! I want ice cream! Oh my gosh. What kind of ice cream? My favorite is those like chocolate chip mint ice creams. I love them. They're really good. Okay. Lion Cat's Trevelong. Fleet-footed traveler Kefira. A thief tells a few stories.
The first story is titled The Golden Apple. It doesn't have to go to the fairest.
That city is named Paphos, where the golden light of Nestia shines. The golden apple tree sits in the city middle. Only the fairest can pluck its apples. Aw, Phantom is so rude, Troy. Where's mine? Yeah, where's ours, Troy? You didn't get us ice cream? Troy says cookie dough. You had cookie dough? That's good too! Oh my gosh. The beauty pageant begins on time, as the fair ones stretch their supple arms, trying to pluck the fruits above their heads. Yet every time the apples come within reach, a breeze blows the fruit away without a trace. The audience in displeasure disbands, with only one girl left standing there, her features bland. Yet to her surprise, she finds her arms full of golden fruits at a harvest grand. Troy says, you didn't ask? Ugh! We shouldn't have to ask, Troy. You should just give us some.
The second story is titled Trying to Argue? Don't trick yourself, please.
That city is named Idilia, where Circe's roots bury deep and wide. The sophist scholar holds a tortoise aloft, but his theories, common sense bereft.
Even the best athlete could never catch up to this turtle.
None can overturn him in arguments, and he obtains the champion's crown in merriment. Troy says, nah, you have to. Nah. Only people lower have to. Me, I'm higher than you. I have supreme power. Yet, as he is about to leave, a wind blows the tortoise in front of him, and behold, his paradox becomes truth. to catch up to the turtle. An entire day and night he spends. Troy says, yeah. Nope, you don't. I do. Yeah, right. Phantom Bunny says, Troy also has Skittles. He has Skittles? What? And you still don't share? Wow, Troy, you're greedy. You're greedy.
The
It's
third
official.
story I will tell is titled A Competition in Trickery. Who do you think is the Grandmaster?
Troy says, yes, you accept it. That city is named Dolos, where even Zagreus was once tricked. Zagreus was the trickery god. Dang. The king promises to reward the perfect lie, wishing to recreate the deceit of the Titan, his grand feat.
I think the world is a gourd. In truth, we are all already dead.
The liars take their turns in the challenge, but no one pleases the king. With a gust of wind, the girl emerges before the king's faces, and when he leaves, she already has the king's promises god in pouch. The others are curious.
Zagreus can only tell lies, and I am Zagreus.
The others are curious as to what lies she raised. Zagreus can only tell lies? What? That is pretty cool. Phantom Bunny says, I'm the Grandmaster. What? You're the Grandmaster? That's impressive. See, Troy, you have to listen. She's the Grandmaster. Or he.
The fourth story is called You Like Money. Good. But you must pay the price.
That sounds scary. The city is called Miss, where the sea breeze intoxicates the people with delight. A wealthy penny pincher prays to the Titan.
Please give me the power to turn anything into gold.
With a breeze, the rock in his hand turns to gold, but his joy is fleeting to behold. For with one embrace, his wife turns into coins scattered on the soil. I was about to say joy as in Troy because here in the chat it sounds similar. Dogs. Troy says, no, you're not. Fanta says, Bunny rules the world. Exactly, because they're just too cute. Troy says, nah, monkeys rule the galaxy. What? Yeah, right. They can't even ride spaceships. He howls at Bogusa to retract the blessing, but sees a girl in a hood passing. The girl laughs hilariously, holding his hand in hers.
Go back and check your vault. Some gold may be missing. But your beloved is right there, waiting.
Cyphera, you took another long journey.
And we want to hear your fun stories!
Oh, they were friends. The girl with the hood dangles her feet in the bath as 2 coins dance and fly between her fingers.
Basically, I visited 4 places, tricked them to my heart's content, and came back fully rewarded.
She's impressive. Phantom Bunny says froze bananas at Troy. Troy also froze bananas. Now there's just so many bananas. The girl pauses her words and looks out the window as the light above the Titan's shoulder casts her right cheek aglow.
The dawn will never cease, and the thief star wanders in foreign lands. How would you know that I am not lying right now?
You wouldn't know when someone says that, like, you just ponder and wonder and just question it. And Bunny says, glory is weird, don't you agree, Joy? Ma. Okay. We didn't read... I don't remember if we read Finons. I think we did. We read the rest except for Finons and now the new one that just appeared, Cypher, so we gotta read those ones. Deceit and treachery, such calamities are despised by the world, as they have been for millennia. Yet the nimble cat thief merely twitches her feline ears, hold on, the comments are covering it. Adjusts her hood and slips the treasures into her pocket. The world is stingy, it is bestowing upon her the so-called destiny of a hero. And she in turn scorns to offer a so dull and lackluster world any genuine affection. Okay, we read these. I don't remember Finons, so the nameless hero. When the world's end descends, a hero raised the sword glinting in the settling sun and challenged the night that approached dusk. His heart pulsed with the brilliance of stars, and his eyes blazed like a fallen sun, casting silver needles upon the scarred earth. He shrouded his name in obscurity, burying the past of his homeland, and vowing to defend the new dawn, even if that dawn would consume all in its fire. Whoa. Wait, I don't think we read the top part. Fleet-footed Kafara. Oh, we did. Phantom Bunny says, I'm so weird. Troy says, it's a kitty cat. You're right. Bunny says, meow meow. Kitty cats are so cute. Oh, Mem. Cass, only at the very end did I realize she was nothing like the rumors. I'm really curious, is everyone like this? Having a side that no one else sees, is Pokey the same? I don't know. I always remain just as I was when we first met. I too have quite a few different sides. I'm curious about the hidden side. I'll only know when the story's over. Oh, don't say that. No, I don't want Star Rail to end. Never. Even though I have no proof, I can't shake the feeling that it's true. But right now, I'm not really in the mood to dig deep. Cass's story is... I can't see over the comments. Is stepping into the next chapter, and I can't quite explain how I feel. It's like sadness, but also like some strange sense of relief. I'm gonna move the comments. For you guys can't see it, but I can see the comments on screen. I'm gonna move it lower to the bottom. That way it doesn't cover it. Top right? No. Bottom right. There we go. That's better. No, I'm not really in the mood to dig deep. Kaz's stories. Oh, we already read this. If someone were to ask about us, how should we tell her story? Troy says, look, I have a jelly donut. Jelly donut! That looks like a rice ball. Bunny says, give me, dang it, Troy, you got so many yum-yums. It's true! Even when he shares his food, like, it looks good. Like, oh my gosh. Her embrace was just as warm as anyone else. She did everything she was meant to do. Death couldn't stop her from loving. Maybe it's not over yet. Yeah, it's not over! Wait, one for Bunny? What about me, Troy? What about me? Are you trying to comfort me? Honestly, it's okay. In future stories, Pokey doesn't have to go out of their way to avoid any endings for my sake, okay? Even though every story has an ending, I still wish everything could start over again. Huh? She had something for Cass, but not for the others? Man, you're showing favoritism. But expose the divine. We've already read that. We already read it. Yeah, we already read this. Maybe if we go for this again.
If this road is easy to walk.
Yeah, we've read that. The next chorus. Hello? Men? Mem doesn't like us anymore. Yeah, we read this part too. I remember these pictures. Did it not count? Bruh. That is messed up. Come on. If only I can turn the page faster. Yeah, I remember reading that. You're only now... What? This makes no sense at all. Is it because he wasn't the last book we ended off? Is that why? Like I said, ask. I don't think I shouldn't ask such a low life. I'm not asking you. Bunny says, we grabs donut and runs off and hides it. Roy says, lol, nah, he asked. Bruh. Okay, it seems like that's all the new ones. So now it accepted as finished. Who's... Okay, yeah. Accept these. So many rewards. Is there any more? No, there doesn't seem to be any more. It says 0. Okay, we finished. That's the end. We're done with the story. Caceres is out. I'm not interested in summoning her. I do want Yaosho's light cone. I want it so bad. Okay. Well, that's the end of the stream. Thank you all for joining the last stream that crashed, and then this one. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for commenting. And la dee 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 da dee da. It was fun. The story was pretty fun. The scenes were epic, and the art styles, they're so good. Troy says, then you won't get what? What? So mean. Random Bunny says, Pokey Troy's with chicken leg. Pokes Troy with chicken leg. Oh. Bites chicken leg, bruh. you both are weird, but weird is good. What is this? Oh, I already accepted it. The last one is tomorrow. I can get 6 more. Alright, well, that's the end of the stream. Bye bye. Thanks for joining. Oh, where's the end broadcast? There it is. It was 58 minutes of reading. This was not short. It's a whole hour. Whatever. It's short for me. Bye bye.